got the Texas Fan Better Podcast.
Young Bridge, Fifth Ward Crenshaw.
You know the best out there.
Keno, from Diggity 713.
To all my Texans Nation. If you feeling good, I want you to throw them H's up high. Yeah, like that. I see you. Let's swarm. Yeah, Houston, Texas, born and raised. Yeah, that's where I'm from. The best city in the state. Yeah, we stay turned up. There's excitement in the air for the Houston Texans. We swarming all year, causing havoc, we wrecking. Coming off that edge, we got 5-5-1. Thing on the outside, locking down your number one. All about the swarm mentality. And the H, standing on business is the way we operate. I rep that 7 like CJ, that 1 like Diggs, that 3 like Dale. H-Town, we doing it big, you know that 12 out here, and don't you never forget, better pick your poison, cause we got Joe in the midst. We rock that battle red, still blue, Liberty white, H-Town blue, drip galore, man, we so fresh, fire like the field. Shout out to the whole squad, chasing greatness, eyes on the prize, one goal, it's time to take it.
Let's get it.
Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's show love for them Texans, cause them Bulls about to perform. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's show love for them Texans, cause them Bulls.
Welcome back to the Fan Battle Podcast, brought to you by Fan Battle Sports. I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs. Guys, we got a special guest, but before I introduce him, let me introduce to my team swarm. First off, I got my A1 since day one. I got Mr. Crenshaw in the building. What's up, brother?
What's up? How you doing? What's up?
Your audio cut out.
Oh, can you hear me?
Well, while he's fixing his audio, we got Mr. Honcho himself. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
And then we got a special guest. I'm not going to murder his last name, so I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead, Scott. How do you pronounce your last name, brother?
You know what? No one in my family knows how to pronounce my last name anyways. So, hey, I'm Scott Bouska. I'm pumped to be on with you guys. And anytime I can talk ball versus, doing whatever else I'm supposed to be doing in my house, I'm pumped about it. So nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me on.
I seen you head bobbing there while we were playing the video. You enjoy that?
I was into it. You get a little, we might get into it, but I'm not the hugest Texans fan, but yeah, I was feeling the vibe and excited to talk a little Texans with you guys.
That was made by our boy Crenshaw and our other Keno that's not going to be here today. They wrote that for trying to get us hyped a little bit for the season. A little let down, but it got us hyped up for the most part.
Hey.
Speaking of let down, this free agency. Some Texans fans are upset. Some are okay with it. Scott, I get your take on the eyes outside looking in. What do you take it?
Yeah, well, I love the move today for CJ Gardner-Johnson to what is, your guys' secondary is already sick, right? Like we're looking at analytics all day. You have two of the, top 20 cornerbacks in the league. You got good safeties, and then you add CJ Gardner-Johnson to the mix, and I think he's as important from a skill set as he is from an attitude standpoint. So I love that. I know people are probably disappointed to see Tunsil walk out the door, but I think he's an aging player who isn't what he was a couple years ago, and you got draft picks for him. So to me, it's a little bit of a wait and see on the offensive line, right? Like I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. The biggest pressing need for the Texans in the offseason is to solve the offensive line. It seems like they're going to try to do that through free agency, and they've got a couple extra draft picks now with what they did with Tunsil. So maybe they trade up and try to get a guy that they like, or early in the draft to fill some of those holes. So I think it's a bit of wait and see. The only thing I would say is most of these free agency deals don't end up working out, right? Most of them you're paying for older guys who are trying to get paid on 3 or 4 year contracts. And so I know like the Patriots were splashy. They spent a bunch of money. The Commanders spent a bunch of money. we're probably going to look back in a couple years and say they added a bunch of players that didn't do a ton from them. So I wouldn't be as disappointed as you might be letting on if I was a Texans fan. They got some draft picks. See what they do in the draft.
Right. I mean, myself, I'm pretty happy for it. Like I still think there's some moves that need to be done, which as Nick Sohn, he has done it. But everybody who's against getting rid of Lerman Muzzle, all I gotta say is ranked 29th last year of the whole NFL. So what are you gonna need worse? I mean, three spots worse. You got to rebuild. You got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new offensive line coach. So it's time to blow it up and rebuild it. And like you said, draft picks are probably if you model like you said before we jumped on here, you're a Chiefs fan. Well, if you model what the Chiefs are doing, they don't go after these big name free agents. They build in the draft, and that's what the Texans have to do, in my opinion. I mean, I have been wrong a time or two, but that's how I see it. I mean, as a former agent, you kind of see the same thing too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, I have to apologize for being a Chiefs fan. I always say I was a Chiefs fan long before they were any good and people hated them. But yeah, it's the same thing. If you go on Twitter and look at what Chiefs fans are saying right now, everyone's pissed, right? Because they're like, oh, the Chiefs didn't spend any money. They let Tooney walk. They brought in a backup offensive tackle from the Niners. But that's what the Chiefs always do. They very rarely go out and make splashy moves in free agency. And I think there's a real art to not over on. Like I said, aging talent. The NFL is a young league, and the key to the NFL is hitting on your drafts. And you get the Texans turn around their entire franchise in 1 year, right? With Will Anderson and CJ Stroud and Nico Ryans. So you get a bunch of draft picks. If you hit on them, like you can turn around a team quick. Same thing's true on the offensive line, right? Which I'm assuming is what the Texans are going to try to do.
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like, right? I mean that's the only thing we can hope. Crystal, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I hope that's the case, but we don't draft well on the offensive line, so it's hard to use that as what we should do. I was hoping we could go out and get a proven guy, but we got to just trust the process right now. I was okay with the Lerman Thompson trade because I felt like the guy was really selfish. He was a me person and everything. I just hope they have a plan because right now I don't see the plan, but it's just March. We don't plan to September, so I just hope they have a plan. So that's my take on that right there.
All right. What about you, Honcho?
What's that? What's the question? Sorry about that. I went out.
The plan of the offseason so far, how you like it?
I'm gonna ride with Crenshaw for a sec, man. I mean, we just gotta trust the process, man. I mean, it was a couple linemen, man, that I thought we can hit on. Earlier today, man, Chiefs went and got a guy that I felt like we could have been beneficial to us, but missed out on him. I still think we got a couple more guys out there, man, like Mikael Becton and one of those guys that can come in and make an immediate impact, man. I feel like any of those guys that's still out there right now is probably a little bit of upgrade from what we had last season. But again, man, it's got to trust the process. I always felt like if we ever get rid of anybody, either get equal value or something better, man. But like Chris said, man, I'm trying to envision the process, man. But it's a little weird right now, but I'm gonna trust it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get like a veteran presence because we all know that like a young offensive line is good on paper, but when the shit hits the fan, you have to have somebody that's been there, that's done it, and so we kind of need that guy. So hopefully we can go get somebody with veteran presence.
Yeah. How'd y'all feel about the Laken Tomlinson deal?
I liked it. These guys weren't a fan. I know Crenshaw wasn't a fan of it. I'm not sure.
I can tell by the looks on their face. They weren't fans.
I mean, he was bad last year, but he was a Pro Bowler 3 years ago. So there's still some talent in there, and I'm a big believer on scheming fixes everything. So I think if he's put in the right scheme, and they can utilize his assets, I think he'd be and to me, he's a veteran presence and somebody to move Juice Scruggs, Jarrett Patterson to motivate them to earn that spot, to earn that starting role. So, but I like it, but I know these two guys. I know Crenshaw for sure don't like it at all.
I don't know, man. I haven't followed Tomlinson too much, man. But like I said, I mean, the way I was feeling about Shaq Mason week 6, man, I was pretty much set out on him, man. I was done with him. So, I mean, like you say, it's a good hire that we went and got Nick Caley, man, because like I said, man, he sees both sides of the ball. He see the run and he see the pass. So with his, tight end experience, man, he's going to utilize and put those guys where they need to be, from a tight end perspective. So maybe he could see some magic, man. Like a guy I mentioned earlier, Mikael Becton, was pretty shitty with the Jets. A couple seasons ago, man, he went out there to Philadelphia just this past year and got with Stroutland on that O-line, man, and he was pretty solid. So, like you said, it does involve the scheming, man, and hopefully we got a smart enough and offensive coordinator, man, that's gonna bring the best out of the guy.
Yeah, that's okay. Chris, like you're muted. What was your thoughts on?
Oh no, I was just basically just mumbling. So Scott, so basically, up there in Portland, you get to watch a lot of Seattle, or you don't look at Seattle at all.
Yeah, I mean, at Field Vision we watch all of it. I'm watching everything on Sunday, but no, I'm not a Seahawks fan. I would love to talk about the Seahawks offseason so far because they lit the whole thing on fire and now we're building it back up with Darnold. But no, yeah, I don't watch it. I don't watch a ton of Seattle. I watch some of everything. I think they downgraded from Geno to Darnold. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But with Thomas and Payne on the Seahawks, I mean, is that something to be concerned about? Because I mean,
I feel like it's about a coin flip between him and a Shaq Mason as an example. I don't know that it's a huge upgrade. See, I mean, Seattle's line was one of the worst lines in the league last year, right? They weren't as a unit much better than Houston's. Let me see if I can try to get the ratings here. Our numbers had Houston's offensive line last year as the 26th ranked O-line in the NFL. And we had Seattle. Give me just 1 second.
All right, go ahead.
We had Seattle as the 28th. So both bad O-lines.
So yeah, like you said, it's a coin flip for either one, right?
Yeah. Oh. But there's I think wasn't there some commentary coming out of Houston that they let Tunsil go in part because of locker room issues?
Yes. He's a diva. I mean, I say that word, but he's in the wrong field. He should be a fashion model, really. Like that's all he cares about is what he shows up to, to the game, what he wears on Instagram. He's always on Instagram. If he paid more attention on the field than the Instagram post, he might not have been the most ball start tackle in all of football last year. So and as fans, we also see this stuff like I think it was 4 or 5 times that we've seen CJ Stroud get hit out of bounds, get hit after the play, and he's nowhere to be found. Yeah. So if he's supposed to be that captain, if you're wearing that C, he should be the first one there. Like he should be. Like you said, CJ Stroud changed this whole franchise in 1 year, so we got to protect it.
Yeah. The only reason I bring it up is because I think that's kind of my read on the Texans offseason and the stuff that Ryans is doing so far is like year one is like holy shit, we've got these young guys and they're really good and we're actually like better than we thought we were gonna be, and then year two good year. You go to the playoffs, you win a playoff game, but get punched in the face a little bit in terms of like, okay, it's not like we're not just going to ascend, to the top of the AFC super easily. And so I see D'Amico Ryans as a bit of a culture coach, where now he's like, okay, I'm gonna get the right guys in the locker room to like keep building this thing. That's what I see in the CJ Gardner Johnson. Like he's a locker room culture guy. And it seems like they felt the opposite way about Tunsil. So in that regard, it feels like he has a plan there.
Yeah, and you go ahead, Christoph.
All right, let me. So Scott, okay, so you're a Kansas City Chief. How far do you see us to get to where you guys at? Like, what do we need to do to get to where you guys at? Because ultimately, as much as people hate you guys, I would love to be you guys right now.
Right.
I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah. Well, the biggest difference between Houston's defense is better than the Chiefs. Houston's defense was better than the Chiefs last year than it's ever been in this whole Chiefs period. Save maybe the 2023 season when that defense was really good, but like to me, you got to stabilize you got to find an offensive coordinator to pair with Stroud, and then you got to build up the offensive line. Cuz that's been the beauty of the Chiefs over these years is like Mahomes is great, Reed is great. You put the two of them together, and it's like your floor is 11 wins, and those two problems solve a lot for you. And we saw with Stroud last year. I mean, my take on the Bobby Slowick situation is like he didn't know how to adjust. He had one year where no one had seen what he was doing, and him and a quarterback that no one had seen what they're doing. The NFL, once they get film on you, like they're gonna make you do something different, and Slowick couldn't adjust. So I think if you're Houston, you got to get the right coordinator to pair with what CJ Stroud does well, and then you got to get an offensive line to protect him. Like those, to me, right now, that's the gap between the Chiefs and Houston. Are those two pieces?
So
The defense is there.
So okay, so how long you think that can be? Because it's going to be time to pay CJ, and once you start paying the quarterbacks, it's kind of hard to keep building your team unless they take a Patrick Mahomes deal, 10-year deal like he did. But that doesn't happen all the time.
It's hard. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to build an offense, or it's hard to turn around an offensive line that was ranked 26th in the league overnight, But I think let me just look at this for a second. If I go back to Houston, their offensive line in 2023, we had more like middle of the pack, middle of the league. So there's a pretty big regression there. So I think if you get the offensive line back to neutral, like back to middle of the league, you hope it happens over the next couple of years. I don't know. It all depends if you hit on the offensive coordinator.
Let me ask you, Scott. So you say from last year, you had us around 26, and the year before it was kind of middle of the pack. Do you feel like Bobby's scheme was a big result, a big influence on that regression from the O-line? I mean, it shouldn't have been no way Shaq Mason was pulling all the way from the right side to the left.
So this is where, and I'm always only because I founded a data company. I'm always like, want to tell you when I feel like I don't have full expertise. Like I don't know the ins and outs of Bobby Slowick's scheme. What I know is that he generally leaned way too heavily on the run on early downs, and it wasn't productive, right? And he could have, if you just in this case want to compare him to an Andy Reid does his quarterback a lot of favors, right? Because instead of just handing the ball off on first and second down and putting a quarterback in 3rd and 8, like he's doing design play actions, motion, picking up 4 or 5 yards on first down. So Mahomes is in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, instead of 3rd and 8s. So I don't think Slowick did Stroud or the offensive line a lot of favors because he's super predictable. And then the other thing from a scheme standpoint is I believe in Stroud's rookie year when 2023, he saw like one of the highest percentage of cover threes. Like he saw cover three a lot, like in terms of quarterbacks across the NFL. And cover three is like your base vanilla defense. We're gonna put one safety deep because we don't think you can beat us with our arms, and we're gonna put more people in the box. And it turns out Stroud was good, and he shredded that a lot. Not surprisingly, like last year, teams played a lot more two deep safeties against him, and teams started playing him a lot more like they're playing Mahomes and like they're playing Allen, where it's like we're not going to give you the deep shot, right? We're not going to give you deep crossers. We're going to make you like find really tight windows in the short area. Yeah, it's harder. And I don't think Stroud addressed it super well, but I also don't think Slowick did him any favors. Right.
Or the offensive line, right? Like it's hard to get your feet set when you're already getting hit.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl is a microcosm of what happened to Stroud and the Texans all year, right? Which is like if teams take away your short passes and your offensive line sucks, like defensive linemen are on top of you before you can do anything. Which is what happened to Stroud. So I think I'm not answering the question very well, but I think it's a combination of both. It's like poor offensive line play that can't make up for a play caller that wasn't that creative.
Gotcha.
And both don't two wrongs don't make a right, right? It doesn't
Right.
It doesn't help. Well,
Right.
Scott, we know you have to head out soon. But tell us a little bit about Field Business Sports. And did that app predict the Chiefs to get blown out in the Super Bowl?
I feel like you're giving me shit, which is warranted. You know what? We had one of the strongest signals that the Eagles were going to win that game of any game we had all year.
Oh wow!
So it did actually predict that the Eagles were going to win that game, despite my fandom for the Chiefs. No, man, we founded Field Vision Sports about a year ago. I'm not the brains of the operation. I have a co-founder who's a data science and PhD and does modeling stuff that I don't understand. But we founded the company with the idea that we thought we could predict football outcomes. And it generally, like, the basic way to think about it is if we know what defenses are going to do, like if we know that teams are going to play cover 2 against the Texans and CJ Stroud and Bobby Slowick generally don't attack that effectively. We can, if we know defensive variables, what coverage a team is going to play, how much they're going to blitz, what area of the field they like to force people to, we ought to be able to predict outcomes and be able to predict what players are well positioned to take advantage of what a defense is going to do, or what players aren't that well positioned to do it. So that's what we set out to do. We launched the app last year, and our model actually did pretty good. We have this thing called the matchup index, and what we found is that when we saw big matchup advantages, you can imagine like you have advantage on scheme, blitz, and personnel. Like we were right quite a bit of the time. The other thing, which is probably more relevant to guys like you, is we just found ourselves sitting on a bunch of data, right? And like a bunch of cool data that, like, if you guys are Texans fans and you want to get deep into like what scheme they're good against, or how Stroud, performs on third and more than 7 in the fourth quarter, or things like that. So we're taking all that data and we're actually putting it into more of a web-based platform we call Field Vision Pro, which I think, like, football nerds like all of ourselves on the call who just like to get into it and understand what's happening, I think people are really going to like. So that's kind of where we're evolving to as a company. We'll still have the app, and we're still going to try to predict games that you can use for betting or fantasy or whatever. But also just we have cool data that people can dive into and use.
So basically a better PFF, right? Like more realistic PFF.
A way better PFF. Now here's what I would say, man, and I really believe in this. PFF was built for teams, right? PFF is built for Nick Casario, right? It's built for teams, coaches, and people that can pay $200,000 for software. It wasn't built for you guys, right? It wasn't built for, and our, like, my point of view is that, and we call them football creators, but like, you guys are football creators, right? That's why I was like bumping to that video at the start of this. And there's not really a good tool built for people like you to create super easy content, to be able to put up a graph of CJ Stroud's performance, like on this podcast, if you wanted to, and not have to spend 2 freaking hours trying to create it in PowerPoint or Keynote. And so, like, everything about our platform
It
is,
won't cost an arm and a leg like the other ones do.
yeah, exactly. No, ours is going to be more like $19.99 or, you know, something like that. But yeah, it's built to be able to have good data, dive into data, actually easily create visualizations that you can screenshot if you want to. And I think you'll find that it's going to be a hell of a lot more accessible than your PFFs of the world.
Awesome. Yeah, because I just can't stand PFF, and I also kind of think they favor teams more. But yeah, that's just me being, you know, a homer.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah. But listen, like, what I would say mostly is, like, we're a young company. We've only been doing it for a year, so we don't really know what we're doing. And that's why, like, anytime folks like you guys are willing to have us on your podcast and get on and, like, talk about football, we're pumped to do that. So we're learning as much from everyone else as you guys are from us. So
does it would it give us the details of how much better our defense would be adding a CJ Gardner Johnson?
we don't have, I mean, in the future, yes, we don't have that specific tool built now to where you could, like, sub in one player for another and it would change everything. But in the future, we will.
Okay.
We feel pretty strongly about our player evaluation algorithms in terms of them being better than, for example, PFF grading.
And now the biggest time of the year, other than the actual season, is draft. Do you have draft prospects and whatnot on there, or is that to come?
Right now for the draft, we're focused on, we're mostly NFL. So right now we're focused on team needs from like, and I can send it to you guys afterwards. Like, we have a point of view on all of the Texans units, unit by unit, where they need help. Like, the worst unit on their team is the offensive line. Not telling you guys anything you don't know, right? based on,
Not easy. No, you're right.
based on everything we talked about. But so we're more focused on free agency and the draft through the lens of team needs. We need to get into college data, but to the point about us being a year old, like, we started in the NFL and we'll start expanding down.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, we know you gotta get going.
Hold on. I gotta ask a question.
I was about to ask you if anybody had a question. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Scott. What is that? What's that boat over there by the waterfront? Like, I've been seeing a lot of people on that boat. What are they doing on that boat over there, man?
In Portland?
Yeah, in Portland. Yeah.
The Portland Spirit?
Is that what it is? It's been like a lot of people on there. What are they doing?
You get on it and eat some food and have a beer, and they drive you around.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like in San Antonio. Then okay, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Riverwalk in San Antonio.
Riverwalk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that cool.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what they was doing over there, man.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that question.
That's the thing about Crenshaw. Like, Crenshaw, he likes to throw curveballs. So, anybody else have any questions for Scott before we let him bounce? No. Well, Scott, why don't you tell us where we can find you on social media and where we can get this amazing platform, so that way we support you, brother.
Yeah, you can find Field Vision at Field Vision MI on X, at Field Vision on Instagram, at Field Vision Sports on Instagram. You can find me at sbushka2 on X. So, yeah, appreciate you guys having us on. Support what we're doing. We'll yeah, if you got questions, analysis, whatever, like DM us and we'll try to help out.
We're gonna be as soon as this show's over, I'll be reaching out to you. We got a sports network called Fan Battle Sports, and we're all about the data. So I'll definitely be shooting you a message.
Awesome.
But, Scott, thanks for coming on. And we're gonna have to do this next year when the Chiefs play the Texans. So that way, we do a little friendly banter,
Let's go.
All right, sir. Well, you have a good night. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you guys.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
All right, fellas. So let's finish to the free agency. Pat, you weren't here. So we kind of discussed it a little bit. What's your feelings on the free agency so far? Other than Laken Thompson, welcome to Houston, bitch.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I had to go ahead and set the tone for him. I had to let him know, look, bro, we need some solid protection for CJ Stroud coming up. And I will say this, I do love the move with Gardner. I think that if you want to go ahead and extend this secondary and make it one of the most deadliest secondaries that I've seen in a while, then that was perfect. I like that. But I'm not gonna lie and say I don't have concern with our offensive line, cause that's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it, bro. I'm before I just go in on Nick, I want to see what he gonna do, in the next couple. But so far it's all right. And then we made a couple of. I like the Justin Watson. I thought that was straight. Justin Watson, very underrated. Chiefs wide receiver, in my opinion. Christian Kirk, that was nice. But my main concern though right now is the offensive line.
Yeah, whenever you can turn a horrible Kenyon Green, and I hope
Good
Kenyon
point,
Green
bro.
the best. I hope Kenyon Green the best. Like if he goes to Philadelphia and just balls out, good for him. But give me CJ Gardner twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like
Thanks.
that dude. That was a mastermind by Nick Caserio. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, it really was. To take some, and I saw a lot of fans in the comment section. They really do not know about Kenyon Green whatsoever. But man, they don't realize that for him to take that and get Gardner, like that was
and then free up $1 million cap space too.
Right.
It's like, bro, it's chess compared to checkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I like you said the best secondary. So this is a question for all you fellas. Is it as good as Legion of Boom, or does it need a little bit of time?
A whole lot of damn time.
A whole lot of damn time. Okay.
A whole lot of time, man. Like I mean, it has potential. It has potential, but we need a whole lot of time, man, because we got to make sure that we don't have sophomore slumps and our great rookies from last year. You know what I'm saying? We gotta hope that Last come back balling. We gotta hope that Kalen come back balling. So we can't just say Legion of Boom until we see how they play this coming up season. But it has potential. These guys could be dead.
Cut off there, Crenshaw. What about you, Honcho?
Well, I ain't gonna say we can be Legion of Boom, but I honestly, man, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, man. I feel like we can be better than Legion of Boom. And I'm pushing. Like Pat said, man, that CJ Gardner, that just kind of put it over the top, man, right there. And one thing I always said about them Texans, man, our defense knows how to close our games, man. We not shut them out, keep them out the end zone. I mean, a couple of years ago we played Denver Broncos, and Russ was getting warmed up, man. We caught an interception in the end zone, and a couple more games we closed out. We don't get scored on at the end of the game. We know how close the game might, but man, kind of makes me wonder, man, going speaking about the defense, are we putting too much into the defense? That's what I'm thinking, man. But I feel like last year we had a solid defense, man, but just makes me a little nervous. Like I said, the question is, are we putting too much into the defense?
Before I let Pat answer the Legion of Boom question, I'm going to say no, because you got rid of somebody that wasn't going to start on the team and it's probably going to get cut anyways. and you, like I said, you freed up a million space, and then all the other guys you got in free agency are 2 million, 3 million got they're prove it guys, right? But I look if we had somebody other than Jimmy Ward and Eric Murray last year, if we had C.J. Gardner Johnson last year, and those two guys, we'd probably win maybe 2 or 3 more games. No blown coverages, and plus maybe Kalen Bullock plays a little bit better.
With a healthy Petrie. So.
Yeah, and the healthy Petrie, right? Like we're forgetting Petrie. So yeah, I don't think it's too much. I think D'Amico is focusing on what he knows, and I honestly think he's letting Nick Caley focus on what he knows. So that's what I like. That's why I like the Christian Kirk move. I think that was a Nick Caley grab. Now, Pat, what about you? What do you think about the Legion of Boom?
Man, Briggs, thank you for bringing that question up, because I have been campaigning for the longest, saying that this Texan secondary reminded me so much of the Legion of Boom. And I think probably because, my hometown Orange, Texas, shout out Earl Thomas, love Earl. It's just something about it. Like I said, with Jalen Petrie, it was, Derek Stingley, what he did last year. I mean, of course we got Will Anderson Jr., we got, all our front seven, and but nah, I really do think we had the opportunity to be better than the Legion of Boom. Not trying to gas us up, not, but man, I still say that Derek Stingley Jr. he's the best cornerback in the league. Gardner, the attitude that he brings, this man is a Super Bowl champion. He brought Philly, his first year when he got there, he brought it to a Super Bowl. It's the experience mixed with that hard-nosed, gritty type of culture, man. It's just something different. So yeah, I've been campaigning this for a while, bro. And the Gardner move to me is it's the icing on the cake, like Huncho said. So yeah, bro, I do.
I will agree with Crenshaw a little bit, but not much. I do say give it time. There's probably a year, right? Like, because other than Richard Sherman, can you name me another cornerback off of the Legion of Boom? It's kind of hard. Like,
right.
Die-hard football fans, right?
Right.
So, like, last year is already there. Like, if he continue this do the same thing he did last year, like, he doesn't even have to be better.
Right.
If he can just do what he did last year, and boom, we're already there. And then, like we said, Jalen Petrie and now C.J. Gardner Johnson. Yeah. I mean, those two guys they mirror Chancellor and Earl Thomas. One's a hard hitter, and the other one's a ball hawk. So,
and Briggs, and also let me add in our young Bulls too, because we always forget, Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Yep.
We got depth too.
Yes.
That the Legion of Boom didn't. When Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas went down, it affected them.
Good point.
And then, like you said too, name me a great pass rusher on that Legion of Doom.
Good point.
There you go.
And Briggs, also back to one of your other points, I like how D'Amico, with our defense, it seems like he patched up everything. All the questions that we really had, I feel like in free agency, disregarding the offensive line, I love how we filled everything up. I just really feel that even our front seven is gonna be tough to deal with. So yeah, I'm with you. But we'll still give it time.
Yeah. And then with the offense, I get everybody panicking about the offensive line, but I think you just gotta give Nick Caserio trust. Like, I see all the other content creators like, are you freaking serious? Let me tell you, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, yes, it was all on him. But at the end of the day, your team gave up 76 sacks. At the end of the day, they were ranked in 29th overall in the NFL. Regardless what he did or not, he was still part of the offensive line. And as a captain, you got to shoulder that. You got to take that on your shoulder. You got to take that on the chin and help change it.
Right.
Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Did Laramie Tunsil do that? No.
Absolutely not. No.
He said I did. It wasn't on me. It was on somebody else. So it was like, come on, bro. So yes, but I love to keep him to protect CJ on the left side. Absolutely. But do I see why? 110%. It's time for a new change in the offense.
Right.
Goodbye, Bobby Slowick, Nick Caley. So we got to get Nick Caley his guy. We just got to be patient.
So do you think Nick Caley had a part in the Tonsil trade? I mean, I feel like that guy got out here, man. He did a lot of evaluation. He looked at that offensive line. He looked at a lot of video and said, "Hey, I don't think this guy gonna work. I don't think this guy will work." So, do you feel like he had a say in that trade?
I I think him and Cole Populus both did because if you believe all the writers when they talk about Strausser and Slowick, that everybody told their opinions, but they didn't listen to them. Well, this kind of shows like Popovich was talking because look how quick they got rid of Shaq Mason. Look how quick they traded uh, Green and then Tunzel, right? So it feels like Popovich had a voice and it wasn't being heard this year or last year. And now Kaylee came in and they're talking. They're like, "Yeah, got it. This is how it's going to be." So I think it was a Nick Kaylee move and the Casario because of the contracts we're going to have to pay in the next couple of years.
And I'm glad you brought that up, man. Honestly, the most underrated, impressive thing that I see with this new regime in Houston, man, they not waiting around, 6 or 7 years to finally get rid of a guy.
Right.
Issues last year with Bobby, we gave him a year. He didn't prove himself the second year. Hey, you're gone. We brought Mason in. He's only here 2 years out of his what did he get, a 3-year extension or something like that? He didn't do his job. He was gone. Same as that offensive line coach, man. I really respect that about Mika and Nick, man. When they notice the problem, just the same as us fans, man. When we notice that problem, man, it's like they own it already. We're not waiting no 5 and 6 years to get rid of these guys.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Huncho. And I think and like you had said, Breeze, how everybody was so up in arms about the Laramie Tunsil move. I mean, Laramie Tunsil is 30 years old. And also, like you said, he's really not that type of leader in the locker room. Not that what I would have thought, as far as taking accountability and stuff. So why wait to the last minute to try to get, try to have to scramble and get something, get your value back, and go ahead and just cut it off right now. So yeah, like you said, bro, I do like how they're addressing everything early, and not holding on to dead weight how we used to all them years. Like it's definitely a change. I can see it. I can see it.
Well, I mean, I love Dwayne Brown. To me, he's the greatest left tackle we ever had in on the team. But we held on to him too long. If we would have traded before he got hurt, we would have got more than what was it, a 5th round draft pick. Like we could have got more because he's still valuable. So I agree. We're not holding Javion Clowney. Like we held on to him too long. We franchise tag him and try and make it work. No, like if it's not gonna work, thank you. But next, and I'll even take one step further. I hope it worked out, but obviously it didn't. But Stephon Diggs, he's another year older, came off a nasty injury. They don't even want to try it. We could have got a cap space for signing him, and they said no, we're good. We don't even want the cap space. Thank you, but next. So I love it. I agree with you, Honcho.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what was the other thing too is that everybody was just complaining and up in arms last year about the false starts and the penalties, and it's just so funny how people they just quick to forget. And like I just vaguely remember, it was almost trending Laramie Tunsil every time he had a false start. And get this guy out of here. It's time to go. Come on now. We gotta appreciate that the front office is actually paying attention and they seeing catching stuff early. So, like Huncho said, I'm loving it.
Well, the crazy thing is you only got a second and a third and blah 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 for him. Why didn't he get a first round draft pick? Because Bill O'Brien's the only idiot to give a first round draft pick for Laremy Tunsil. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
It was 2, wasn't it?
It was 2, but still,
Yeah.
he's the only idiot that give up 1. But he's dumb enough to give up 2. So, like the comp was great. He's 30 years old, has a massive pause contract,
Right.
and you got great comp out of it. Now you can sit where you're at in the draft, or you can use those drafts and trade up. So I'm letting Nick cook. I'm not letting those guys hit the panic button.
Absolutely.
But other than letting him cook, what would y'all like to see him going forward?
Man, a guy I've been campaigning for a while now, man. I wanna address that D line, man, with a defensive tackle, but not too early. But what I would like to see is us go and get one of those big snot nose, cornbread fed LTs out of North Dakota State, man. Grades Zabel. I've been watching that dude, man. It's just something about him. I feel like if we don't get this guy,
And he can play guard, he can play center, he can play everywhere.
Anywhere, I feel like if we don't get this guy now, man, we're gonna be looking next year saying like, man, we should have fucking got that guy, bro. I'm getting one of those hunches, man. I really am. I think we should take this guy. I think a lot of those picks that we got for Tunsil just a couple of days ago, man, I feel like Nick is about to surprise us again. And like you said, we're not gonna hit the panic button yet because last year around this time, Nick really didn't start heating up until day 3, 4. We didn't go get Hunter to what, day 3 or something like that, man. And then we went and got Aziz and all these guys. So he really haven't started yet, man. The only difference is we don't have that amount of money that we have to play with since last year. But he's definitely gonna make some moves, man. I'm still anticipating the Christian Kirk restructure, a Danielle Hunter restructure, hopefully a re-sign soon. But we still got a couple restructures we can do, man. And on top of that, that new big cap, that record-breaking cap that we got this year again, man. So I have a little bit to play with, man. But I feel like they not too much jumping in there yet so fast like we did last year because nobody went into this season this year thinking that our worst $200-some million O-line will be the downfall of our team last year. So I feel like like you said, they doing a lot more due diligence this year, man. And man, I'm excited, man. But like I said, I'm getting that hunch, man. We about to do something with them picks, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, kind of like what Huncho said. I don't really have a specific player, anything in the draft that I'm just looking at too much. But I wouldn't mind him addressing the O-line. But I could wait. I'm not that, in panic mode because Nick then showed and proved over the years that he knows how to build and structure teams. And at the same time and make us, and keep cap. He's not gonna do nothing that'll put us in red or something we'll regret too much in the later years. So I'm patient, with whatever he got going. I will say, since we did get this, get a lot of comfort for Laremy Tunsil, which, like your points, Breeze, I do think we came out well with that, with what we received.
Right.
People were saying, but I would like to see, we can try to pull off a little flipperoo and maybe, get a little receiver in the early round, somebody young that we could I know we had everybody had eyes on certain ones. I don't know if we're gonna draft that early and get a receiver. But if we could pull something off, I would like that. I would like that for sure. But I'm patient with Nick though, man. He's a great GM. He a good GM, bro. Like I gotta give it to him. So
like I get the big move splashes. Like I get it. But is there really a big move like we should have went out there and got? Not really.
nah.
And the big move splashes, what it does is cost you money.
Mm-hmm.
So just wait, let it see what happens, and let Nick cook. Man, I'm telling you, as a
Right.
chef, I know that boy's gonna cook. He's about to cook.
Yeah.
One more thing, man, and this is for all of us as Texans fan, man. My boy told me the other day, man, we really realized.
Nope, cut out there, Hunter. Go ahead. You there? Oh,
Oh.
well, when he comes back, we'll let him
Yeah.
come back. But now that's what drives me nuts, right, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
Like all these fans want to say the offensive line, the offensive line, but especially Nick. Nick can't get an offensive line. He don't know how to do it. But yet, 2 years ago, C.J. Stroud's rookie year with a makeshift offensive line, it was top 16.
Good point.
Who put that line together?
Good point.
Nick Casario. So give the man some credit. All right, chill out. Be relaxed. Anto, what were you saying before you got interrupted, brother?
Sorry about that, man.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
but man, us Texans fans, man, we got to realize Nick Casterio's background, man. He came from New England. When Nick was out there, man, Nick wasn't doing the drafting, man. It was Belichick. And when he did,
Mm-hmm.
put his insight inside the draft, I mean, they had Brady back then. So they wasn't picking third and fourth overall and, top 10, none of that, man. So for Nick to come here and build his team and take us back to back division champs, man, you got to give him a lot more credit. Not that we don't give him credit now, man, but this guy really, really knows what he's doing. So I do want to commend him on that end, man. But we really have to understand that Nick is, even though he had a title over there, man, he is actually the GM over here, man. He's running the
Right.
show. We got to give him a little more credit, man. But just wait, man. I'm trusting the process, like Crenshaw said earlier, man. Anybody they cut, sign, or release, man, we got to go with it. I mean, us as fans, it ain't nothing much we can do, but trust it. So I'm riding with it, man.
Well, I would like. I'm a big Cooper Cup fan. I think he's a great receiver. The injuries do scare me. So would I be okay with them signing him? Yeah, because it's another weapon. But I really would like the Beckham, like you said, Honcho earlier, and Jenkins. Go get me one more lineman at least in the free agency. Just one more,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the draft, either trade up, get Banks, or if a double E from Ohio State, a Golden, any of those good receivers magically fall at 25, you get it.
Right.
You get that young guy to learn from a Kirk, from a Nico Collins, So you got to take there. But yeah, I'm with you, Honcho. I know Keno and Crenshaw is all about SEC schools and big name schools. I'll let the player do the talking, not the school. And
My player,
Greg Zabel is the man.
and that's the thing, man. That's my player of choice. Also, he didn't, play against a big school, and he didn't battle it out with top schools every week. But he did go to that Senior Bowl and made these big schools look. He held his own against these big schools at the Senior Bowl, man. So, like you say, he can do it all. He can center, he can guard, he can tackle. So I mean, we need a lot of that versatility, man. A guy I wouldn't mind bringing back also if I had to choose a veteran would be George Fant.
Mhm.
He was another versatile guy, man, that can play pretty much anywhere. I was a little disappointed that we let him go last year, but I understand we had, just the year before gave Howard all that money. But at the same time, man, again, just trusting the process right now.
Absolutely. And one more person I would like to get if he falls in the fourth, or not even. I would like him, but I would like to get another running back. The Damian Pierce experiment for me is over. I would like to get. I like Scatterboo from Arizona State. I think
Mm-hmm.
he can be a great running back, especially as a backfield, receiving wise. So go get me him. But I just think we have to upgrade the running back.
Well, and you know what, Breeze, and I said this a couple of months ago to your running back point. I think it would really be a discern if we didn't get a running back this draft, because this draft is so fully loaded with backs, man. I really would like that. And I also want to throw out this too, as far as in the free agency, who some, just some names I probably would like to see. I saw a couple of days ago that I wouldn't mind as far as receiver goes. I wouldn't mind Brandon Cooks coming back. I saw we was kind of into. We had talked to him a little bit. I know he left out on a bad note. He was kind of, but I'm cool with it. Amari Cooper, that's a name as well. But I'm with you. My first top was, of course, Cooper Cup. But those are a couple of names that I just saw. I want to throw around. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
And I still think you gotta get a big old DT out of the draft too. The good thing about this draft, man, it's so stacked with receivers and defensive tackles. Like I think you can find a good receiver pretty much and defensive tackle pretty much any round in this draft. So I would like that. If you get that, you're solid. Just get pieces to just for depth after that. But yeah,
Right.
I don't think we're that far behind from being a complete team like everybody thinks we are.
Yeah, they definitely have to give more credit, man, because this, I like you said, I guess a lot of people expect always these big splashes and these big splashes, so they don't really pay too much attention to the small things that we're doing, especially with a lot of the depth pieces that we got. They, like I said, I feel like they really filled every hole, as far as what I could see what the team was missing. We had questions with safety. Everybody had problems with Jimmy Ward. Oh, Jimmy Ward, he washed up, he old. Well, look what we do. We go get Gardner. I mean, it's moves like that, man, that
It
got
feels
me,
like they're listening
yeah.
to us, right? Like they're listening to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we wanted Basin gone. Okay, boom, gone. We wanted Green gone before last year.
Yep.
Boom, gone.
Facts.
And now after the fall start, like you said, Pat, everybody can say what they want now, but I agree with you. During the season, is get this man off my team. I'm
Yep.
tired of false starts. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. Okay, they listen. They got him off your team. So yes, I am for every move. You just gotta trust the process.
Yep.
And one more thing before we head out. Also, what I seen D'Amico, I said from day one when we hired him, I think he's our Mike Tomlin. I think he's our forever coach. He focused on what he knows best, which is
Love
defense,
that.
and he lets the coordinators take the role. And then just like what Honcho and you said, Pat, if he don't like something, boom, you're
Tom.
gone. Just like Tomlin. So I love the atmosphere. I love the culture. And then bringing in CJ Gardner Johnson, dude, I'm so excited for next year. It's unreal.
I'm with you. I'm with you. This has definitely been an experience. Everything kind of I think what we all expected when we got, D'Amico. He's pretty much, he's almost exceeded the expectations. Like he's 1-1, man. But I'm with you on that. I think he will be like our forever coach.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, anything else to add before we bounce?
I did want to address one comment that I seen you post up there from one of the fans, man. He mentioned something about Houston being a top elite defense and riding a couple games. I mean, riding majority of the games on the defense and kind of give a prayer and a hope on our offense, man. I agree with you a little bit. I do, because I feel like this defense has won us, in my opinion, 6 out of the 10 games we won. With that being said, man, but also what I feel like we're anticipating on, man, is a little more in the hope and the prayer. I feel like what we're gonna get this year is a little more than the hope and the prayer. Had we had the hope and the prayer last year, would have beat teams like Kansas City and how the Lions and those close games, man. We really put it out there, man. But just be patient, brother. I think it's this year, man, that we're actually gonna go a little past that hope and a prayer, man. Like you said, we were top 10 defense, man, and we just needed that offense just a little extra, man. But we didn't have that, man. I feel like we honestly gonna have that this year. We stripping the coaches, starting some brand new. But every young team, man, gotta face adversity, man, and I mean, it is what it is. Just like our Rockets, man. I'm gonna throw them out there. They getting out there balling, doing their thing, but hey, they hit that adversity, man. You gotta have that adversity in order to ultimately achieve what you want. And I think that's where we at, man. I don't feel like we're far from it, like Briggs said, but our time is coming, brother. It is, man. We'll have a little more than a hope and a prayer this year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Huncho. I mean, this and I do feel you on that. I do think, our defense did, come in clutch a lot of games. Like we can't even lie. But it's like I said earlier, like Casario has done so good at those last minute or the things that we didn't really expect. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I could trust it. I think he'll do what needs to be done, man. But yeah, besides that, hey, I'm locked in this year. This is gonna be a crazy year, man.
It's a lot of key factors, man. We just brought Barnett back. We brought Edwards back. A
And
lot of
in another depth with Terrell, like
the band that we had last year, we running it back. One of my fan favorite guys, man, and I hope we do bring him back is Neville Hewitt, man. I hope we bring him back, man.
Hewitt, yeah.
But as far as in that, man, I think we, on our way to where we need to be, brother.
I agree with y'all. I'm glad you brought up the New England route too, because just imagine. Okay, so we Tom Brady, the GOAT, the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, right? We can all agree with that. Who cares about the cheating? But blah blah blah. But what did he have? He had elite defense most of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes had a defense as good as we have now, or as the Patriots had back then. And I think that's what Nick Casario sees. He says we got a great quarterback and CJ Stroud. Even Tom Brady himself said CJ Stroud's the guy. So let me build this defense around him so that way he can learn to be the GOAT. Not where he has to be the GOAT and then learn how to play without defense. So I love it. A chef's kiss to it.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, Matt, and I'm not putting anything past what Nick and Miko's done so far this offseason, but do you feel like we're putting a little too much into the defense?
Not really. I mean, other than the CJ Gardner Johnson,
yeah.
What we have, the biggest we spent on there, I think, is $6 million. So I mean, I don't think we're putting a lot. We're just adding depth, right? Like I don't think he's really adding much to it.
Right. Well, I mean, we don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at the move, but financially wise, we didn't lose a lot. We upgraded that position from Murray being Murray, went on to join the Jags, but we upgraded that position. That's why I don't want to be the negative guy, so and so, but again, I love everything we're doing, but I just don't want to put too much into that defense, man. Going forward.
It was like Scott said too, right? Like everybody said knew there was a locker room issue, right? Well, not a locker room issue, but you could tell that Tunzel wasn't the guy to lead that locker room. He wasn't the guy to get the guys in the mood. We got that CJ Gardner Johnson. We got the guy who's going to be the voice. We got the guy who's going to be the culture, right? So I think that's why we had to bring him in to set the tone. And also, what did he just win? He knows what it takes. So bring that guy in, bring the experience, because we don't have nobody who knows how that is now.
And you know what? And Hunter, to your point, I fully understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I agree with you too.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. Because it could be looked at and you could say, well, the offensive line was the main issue last year. So why won't you go ahead and, try to have something there in place, already, instead of, butchering up the offensive line, then go and get Gardner, then picking up some. I understand it, but I really do think, I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm gonna say that I'm just gonna wait and see. But I get your point. I
Right,
get
right.
you.
I feel like at this point, man, we by the moves we made already, man, getting all our defensive guys back, getting ready to re-sign Stingley and all those guys. Hopefully, like I said, we get give Daniil Hunter his a new contract. I feel like we're about to attack this. The way it's going to me, we're about to attack this draft with all offense. Maybe
Well,
get a couple of players, but
Hmm.
well, here's another thing that nobody has talked about either too, and I promise I'll end it soon. But ever since we drafted him, we have not played Titus Howard in his national position, and
Mm.
that's left tackle. So who knows if we put him at left tackle, he might be a top
Right,
five
right,
left tackle.
right, right.
hey, Matt, let me touch on this before we go get ready to go real quick and this real fast. I'm glad you said that and brought him up, man. Him leaving made me a little Tunsil leaving made me a little more comfortable with Howard. Only because of the simple fact, like you said, those guys spend a lot of time on social media, Instagram.
Hmm.
That guy looks up to Tunsil like a big brother. And Tunsil, as we all know, wasn't a natural leader for our team. Hell, the guy even negotiates his own contract. He's so damn greedy and so selfish. With Tunsil being gone, man, I feel like that distraction is gone and Howard can actually reach his full potential. I
Hmm.
want to see it, especially with this new offensive coordinator. That's all I got, brother.
Yeah,
Good point.
yeah, and Fisher, I think I called it last year when we drafted him. I think he's going to be the future at right tackle. So I'm good with it. But with that being said, fellas, this is the worst part because it's the end. Why don't you tell everybody where we can find you on social media and what you got cooking so that way we can support you? I'll start with you, Pat. Where do we find you at, brother?
All right, y'all just go ahead. Y'all know I'm on X, Texans TTV. Also we got the TikTok page, Texans TTV as well. Also be on the lookout. I told y'all early on X a couple of weeks ago, we're gonna have some announcements. We gonna have our own stuff going here on the fan battle podcast, tea time, So yeah, everybody just stay tuned. We gonna keep y'all locked in and keep y'all posted, man. It's always a pleasure with you guys, bro. Hey, good times, man. Good times.
All right, Mr. Honcho, what about yourself?
Hey, like Pat said, man, always a pleasure talking with you guys. I look forward to this every week, man. Hopefully, we're putting out some good content. But you can find me at H-Town Huncho 713 on X. Also, Instagram, Huncho Johnny, and Facebook, same Huncho Johnny. I appreciate talking to y'all. Thanks for having me. Every week, man, we're going to continue to try to keep putting out some good content, have some special guests, all that, man. Just don't lose faith with us. We on our way.
Yes, sir. And you can follow our brothers who had to leave, Crenshaw and Keno, who couldn't make it tonight. You find Keno at Here Ken Out, Crenshaw at Pittsburgh, Crenshaw. Keep it real as always. You find myself at A1 Day One Texans, the podcast at Texans Fan Battle. And like Pat said, man, we got some great stuff coming up. We got Texans Tea. You heard some of Honcho's hunches already tonight.
Right.
So don't be surprised with some more. Before we leave, we got Mr. Crenshaw. Before we get you're
Oh,
about to sign off.
hold on. Is that K Dot back there too? Hold on. Is Kendrick back there? Oh, okay.
You're on me, brother.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Well, we're about to sign off. You got last words?
Oh, shit. Well, I guess the last words is, man, like you said earlier, man, just trust the process. Um, you know, I just want to win, bro. I just want to win. I'm tired of making excuses for this team. When I talk to people, barbershop, just people around the way, text messages, chats, etc., etc. We make a lot of excuses as fans because we want the best for our teams and everything. But I just want to win, bro. Like I invested so much money with this team over the years, man. These tickets, road tickets,
The tier.
merch, all that
Yeah,
shit, bro. All that shit,
yeah.
bro. It's just too much. And I want to be like how Chris Brown say. Chris Brown say, man, what are we gonna do with my residuals, man? When
Man.
fans gonna get our residuals, bro? You know what I'm saying? When we gonna get our shit, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's time, bro. It's time, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I'm gonna say on that right there, man.
All right. Well, then tell everybody we can find you at. I kind of said it, but you say it better. So where we find you at?
Man, you can find me at Fifth Ward Crenshaw everywhere, man. Same name on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here. The GNX tour starts next month. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Ah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, I think the time is up, guys.
But like I said, we heard some of Honcho's hunches. Texans T, here Ken out, and of course Crenshaw's contingents. So
Contingency.
make sure you check out. We're going to try to drop them beginning of April, so make sure you be on the lookout for that. Next week we're going Crenshaw, Pat, and Ken to be and Honcho to be hyped for this one. We got the legend himself. We got little Kiki coming down on the show. So
I'm gonna
we're
break
gonna
him
have
off real bad.
we're gonna have to give Pat a hard time with the Drake and Kendrick stuff. So
Oh
make sure
man.
you,
Oh well. I think Lil Kiki go ride with Drake though.
oh, there you
I'm
go.
about to say I think Kiki gonna hold it down,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
Kiki
hopefully.
go hold it
He
down
gonna
for
yeah, he gonna
Drake.
stay neutral.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chris,
But
I
But
did want hey Chris, I did want to
what's up?
ask you though
I'm
on some
I'm here.
football. How did you feel about the moves like we made? Just real quick from what you've seen so far.
Okay, Council trade. I've been on this podcast saying get rid of this guy for years. I've been
3 years ago, since we started this thing,
yes. I just don't like the way he moved, bro. I don't like the way he moved.
Facts.
Um, I love. Okay, to be honest, I can't believe we was able to get CJ for
Mm-hmm.
King and Green. We was gonna cut King and Green for us to get CJ, and this guy is a damn good safety. I ain't talking about a bullshit safety. He's a damn good safety. Matter of fact, I don't. He got to be what a top three, top five safety. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So to do that is incredible. Now the guy we got from Seattle, I don't really know much about this guy. I think he's Shaq Mason 2.0. The other little guys that we got, like far as the signings or whatever, it is what it is on those guys. But
Mm-hmm.
I do want them to do a little more. But I get it. We don't got the money. You got to make, you got to make cap and everything. I think next year. I think what next year. What we did last year is what we're gonna do next year. Next year we're gonna have more money where we can go out and get big guys. You never know. You could get a T Higgins next year. If you don't get
Mm-hmm.
re-signed with his team because they can't franchise no more. You know, but I just don't want to I don't want to go 10-7 or 11-6 and then lose in the second round again. I'm tired of that shit, bro. I'm tired of
Right.
that shit. So but one more thing before we go. I also really believe, damn nigga, they might get mad. I'm gonna say this. I really believe that D'Amico is sacrificing offense for defense. I don't really think he care about the offense.
Acho just said the
Ancho
same
just
thing,
said
Oh,
that.
you
bro.
just said that.
Ancho been
Okay,
saying that
that
the
was
whole show.
see. I think that's what he's doing, and I don't like that. I don't like that because yes, that's good, but defense gets tired. Defense get worn out, and you got a good quarterback over here that got a potential to be a great quarterback. Why you neutralizing him? Like let him show his skills, man. We all watched this guy at Ohio State. Now, granted, he had all first round wide receivers out there, but we
Mm-hmm.
watch him. We know what he can do. We need that here. So don't handcuff the guy. Give him some weapons. I understand the Raiders trying to get rid of Michael Mira. What's the holdup on getting traded for him? Like
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like,
what's
why
going
not?
on? Send him a six, send him a fifth. Go get the guy. I mean, come on, man.
You already got a taste of what he can be.
Yeah.
The draft is a
We seen him in college. We seen a little bit of it in the NFL. He didn't have the best of quarterback. Then last year they picked the best tight end that we've seen in a long time in the draft, and that guy was a superstar last year.
Brock Bowers was what Kyle Pitts was supposed to be.
What Kyle
Man,
Pitts supposed to be.
facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? What Kyle Pitts supposed to be. Matter of fact, Kyle Pitts, shit, I don't know if he's instilling good with them out there. Maybe could trade for that
That
guy.
would be
You
a
know what I'm
nice
saying?
one. That would be nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I just like I say, I just want to win, bro. I just want to
Hey,
win. That's
first
what
off,
it is.
me,
What's
me,
up?
me and Pat both agree with what you just said with Honcho and what you just said. But here's what I'm seeing, and I could be wrong. I'll admit if I was, but I think Nick Casario and D'Amico are seeing. Well, basically Nick Casario. He came from New England. He saw what Tom Brady can do. But what did Tom Brady have his whole career?
A tight end.
Elite defense.
Well, yeah, he had a lead defense. Okay, so talking about on that
Just
aspect. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just imagine if a Peyton Manning, a Drew Brees, hell, even a Patrick Mahomes right now had elite defense, they'd be a lot better. They would be the Tom Brady, not Tom Brady. I think they see what they got in uh, CJ Stroud. Get the defense and let him grow into that quarterback instead
But
of
see,
be that quarterback.
I see. I don't like. See, the reason. I mean, that's a great philosophy, but we not that type of organization to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like those organizations have been in Super Bowls before they got Tom Brady. The New England was in Super Bowl before they got Tom Brady. You
Right?
know what
I
I'm saying?
agree. I agree.
So we never taste that. So it's hard to say build through the draft, or do this and do that. Now, I feel like what we need to do right now, we got the defense is great, but the offensive line, if you get the offensive line, I don't want to be respectable. I want to at least be top 10. I want at least be top 10, man. But
Well,
I
my
don't know.
thing.
I'm just afraid when it's time to pay
No,
these
I,
guys, bro. When it's time to pay these guys, I don't know what's gonna happen to this team. It's time to pay these guys, man.
I agree with you, but and you said we're not that team to build and draft. But name me a time we ever had three elite players at three different positions.
I mean, you could go back to the older days. You had Andre Johnson, you had J.J. Watt, you had Aaron Foster.
Andre Johnson was on his way out.
No, I mean not in
Arian
2010,
Foster was
2011.
healthy.
No, I'm talking about 2010, 2011 when the team won 12-4 and 10-6. Those years right there, all three of those guys were elite. All three of those guys were all pro. You know what I'm saying? That was the team that we should have won Super Bowl with. That was the team we should have got Peyton Manning when they chose
Yeah.
Matt Sharp over Peyton Manning. That was a stupid
Well,
right there.
and you're right. You're right. And what we do, we went the free agents way. Went after a Brock Osweiler. We went through a different way instead of building through the draft. And look what happened. It imploded in our face.
Well, let me ask you this, Crenshaw. Do you think Nick Casario didn't put in enough work to where we could be patient with him as far as wait and see what he'll do? Because he usually really, I mean, like you said, we probably not gonna do what we did, the past season because we don't have the money for it. So maybe he is doing these little dink dunk small moves, filling in these holes,
Low risk,
per
high
se
reward.
first, right?
Right.
And then we'll, just slowly build like that. You think he can put enough work for us to be patient,
I
or
mean,
is it urgent for CJ right now?
see what? Okay, if CJ want to do what he did last year, I could be more patient with Nick. But what CJ did last year, he kind of sped up everything. See, what CJ gave us 2 more years. Because I thought it was gonna take us 2 years and maybe CJ third year we would make the playoffs. I didn't think we'd
Yeah,
make the playoffs the first year here.
that's
So
true.
with Nick, it's hard to be patient with him now because okay, look, we got the team, we got to win. But I understand where Nick came from. When he came here, he came to a shithole. We was sorry as fuck when he came here. He traded Deshaun. He got all those guys up out of here. The money, the cap was fucked up, and he got the shit right. So I guess you got to still be patient with him because at the end of the day, I feel like he's better than what's the guy we had before him, y'all. I'm talking about the brother,
Rick
Rick
Smith.
Smith.
What's the brother we had?
Rick
Rick
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah, Rick Smith. Yeah, I feel like he's doing better than Rick Smith. I think Rick Smith he fucked the team all up right there, and he was too loyal to a lot of guys too on the team too.
Yeah.
And coaches. And
Yeah,
coaches.
coaches too,
Mhm.
too loyal and everything. So,
Yeah.
but I think he's doing a good job. So I just like I said earlier in the pod, it just once you pay the quarterback, bro, your team just go left, man. Your team just go left. So,
That's true.
Well,
man.
hopefully we got a GM like Howie Rossman and
But see,
uh,
but how
Brett
we
Veach.
but how we let his nuts hang? How we will get guys that we're not going to get? How we don't care about if he up against the cap. He don't care about that shit right there. That's what I like about him. He'll go get guys that we're not going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they picked up J.K. Dobbins. Now you if you go ask Texans like T, you put that on Texans Twitter, they're gonna be like, nah, man, we got Pierce, we got Joe, we don't need J.K. Dobbins. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
they go out to get him,
I
huh?
agree. I agree.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like they like, hey, look, we got Barkley, the coldest running back there, but we still gonna get another running back because you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. But
I
I
feel
don't know.
Gainwell, like why didn't we try to go for Gainwell? He only got like $4.5 million. Like why?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
just bring good guys in, bro, because you need depth. Because for some reason with this team, everybody always get hurt when we don't need them to get hurt. They get hurt at the wrong goddamn time. Like, god damn.
Since 2002, brother. Since 2002.
I seen.
Like,
I seen.
for
I,
Peachy having a great year. Boom, he get hurt. I'm like, god damn, Peachy, shit, man. I was coming back along because I was shitting on him. I'm like, damn, this dude suck. And he was coming along, and then all of a sudden he get hurt.
one,
Brevin Jordan, 75-yard touchdown. I'm like, okay, Brevin, this your year. Boom, missed the season. Christian Harris, he had a great the end of the year. He come back this year, motherfucker don't even much play. You see what I'm saying? Like shit like that, bro.
Nico
Shit like
Collins
that.
get hurt, then
Mhm.
Stephon Diggs get hurt, and then Tank Dell out for the season.
Oh my, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
What you
I don't know.
got to say, Hunter?
Oh no, I was just gonna hit on what Crenshaw was saying, man. One of the guys that a sleeper running back I was looking at, man, was AJ Dillon from the Packers, man. He ended up signing with Philly also. So
That
shit,
no what that's the name. I'm sorry. AJ Dillon, not J.K. Dobbins. AJ Dillon. You're right. That's the name I was trying to say. I
that,
said the wrong name.
man, I wouldn't have mind him coming out here, bro, for a little contract, bro. I don't even think they paid him that much either. But I mean, it is what it is, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Well, fellas, anything else before we get off of here?
Um one more thing. One more thing right here. I just gotta say it because I just gotta be me. You know what I'm saying? T Dosia is not an industry plant. Okay,
Here we go. Here we go.
not an
Here
industry
we
plant.
go.
Let
Here
me
we
tell you.
go.
Let me tell you, bro. This woman been grinding for years on YouTube. Years. She ain't just came out last year. If you go to her YouTube page, she been grinding for like 8-10 years. And a
Mm.
lot of her songs we hear now, it's been out years ago, but they just getting popular now. So
Mm.
she's been grinding and grinding. She finally getting her due. So
Mm.
I won't say she's an industry plant. Now, you want to go to industry plants, you could say Lizzo,
Good point.
or you could or I don't listen to this girl because my kids like what's her name, Billie Eilish or Billie
Oh
something.
yeah.
Like
Good point.
you could say her, but I won't say Docile because she's man. Okay, it's like I say, she's been grinding for a long time, bro. She's been grinding for a long time. But I get it. Like right now, it's like damn, everybody's on her. She winning all these awards. Blah blah blah
I
blah
think
blah blah
I
blah.
think that's kind of more so what the conversation is coming out because of the awards and kind of about how it seems like she's getting promoted and pushed
Right.
overly. Like if you seen, I don't know if you've seen her recent interview, but she
Yeah,
had
I saw
made
it.
about the comment about the straight man, and it just comes off as like it's a narrative being pushed behind her. Not saying because you are right. It was songs that I wasn't even familiar with that she made that was already viral on TikTok and
Yeah, what
she
it
been hot
is?
for a minute.
What's that's her right there. That's an
Yeah,
old
she been hot
song.
for a minute, bro. I can't even cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, she been
Now,
hot for a minute.
T, let me tell you something. T, let me tell you something. All right, then we could get off because I know we on some other shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat said the same thing she said, and look at their careers. So by her saying that, you can't really get mad because other people said it. She could be saying that because in the LGBTQRS, whatever them people call
The alphabet.
the alphabet,
Alphabet community.
they back you more than anybody do. So if you have fans thinking that's what you are, is what you like, your career is gonna take off. Because
Facts.
when Nikki first came out, we all thought she liked women. If you go
Mm-hmm.
back, look at old Nikki, then look at Nikki now, I'm like, okay, she like dick now. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's different. So that's how you do it as a woman, because it's already hard as female artists to make it out here because they got to get BBLs, they got to talk about sets to make it, and women artists are using to make it. So I think that's maybe part of her strategy that TDE told her, hey, do this right here, boom. Look at they did a Scissor. They told Scissor, Go get you a BBL. She go get a BBL, and boom, she became a big superstar. Now she's talking about,
Mm.
damn, I wish I wouldn't got the BBL, but she had to get it because nobody they was feeling her, but they really wasn't feeling her.
And
You
you
know
know what it is, Crenshaw, and I'm
what's up?
gonna let us go. I'm not so mad about hey there. I'm not so mad about the comment or her saying about her sexuality. I just think that how it came across was the division. I don't think as us as our people, I don't think we at the time right now to be trying to be so dividing and saying okay a man, because I just looked at it as like a black man, to be honest, just being real.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
that's
I see
how
what you're saying.
that's
I,
how it hit me more so.
I see what you're saying, but it just like I
But no,
mean,
you're right. It's strategy. I
yeah,
get what you no facts, facts.
yeah. You know what I'm
She
saying? Because
eating. She gonna eat off of them. She
yeah,
gonna eat
'cause
off of them.
look what she said, and look how the blogs took it. She got more
Mm-hmm.
views. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's doing. But I mean,
I don't look. Hey, you gotta get your. Hey, I don't blame her. Look,
hey,
hey, they gonna feed off of it, man. Hey, I ain't mad at
yeah,
her. I ain't mad at her.
yeah. I mean
Ke-
yeah, look,
Kendrick. Hey, hey,
controversy sells. Like right
you do.
now,
You do.
if somebody on this pod say something controversial, then what's gonna happen? People gonna start like, hold on, what happened? They're gonna go back and
Yeah.
look at it, and the
Yeah.
views gonna go
Yeah.
up, like on the
Yeah.
song. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you do. You do controversy shit. You know, same thing with this beef. It helped both artists.
Mm-hmm.
Both artists. You know, the fan base. You know, every damn thing. Both artists has really contribute off this right here. So that's what you gotta do. People
Facts.
don't like shit that's not controversial. You know what I'm saying? They don't like good shit. They like bad shit. They like shit that
Right.
happened.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So that's what you
yeah,
do.
we already experienced that, Crenshaw. Remember?
Yeah, we experienced that. We experienced
Yeah,
that like in the first year. You know,
yeah.
For
That
real.
was one of our biggest ratings was when they called you a racist, and
yeah,
of course, but you know, it,
yeah.
you're right. It sells.
Yeah, it
Yep.
sells
Yep. Yep.
if Matt was to say nigga right now, and
Mm.
they gets out on X,
Look,
and they
man.
gets out on X, man, this shit's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm out. You ain't get
But
me on that one.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, but that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. That's what people like, bro. People like
Yep.
that shit, bro.
Yep.
That's what's going on.
And
2025.
to what kind of what T says, and I'll get off it too. Uh, everybody likes to keep everybody divided.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like being unified, especially what just happened in January. You know, the political route.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be divided, and that's all they care about is
Yep.
being divided instead of being unified, and it just sucks.
Yep.
Just like the Texans, everybody's divided. Pro Laramie Tunzel, anti Laramie Tunzel. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the sucky world we live in, man.
Yeah, it's a sucky world. Hold on, one more. It's a sucky world because we are fans. We are fans, but everybody feel like they gotta be better than somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Your opinion don't
Let
matter.
Test T eat. Let Honcho eat. Let Briggs eat. Let the rundown eat. You know, all these other podcasts we have, everybody can eat, everybody can have fun, bro. We don't have to be like, oh, I'm better than you or you ain't shit. We all fucking fans. We doing this shit for free. We doing this shit because we love the shit, bro. But it's always got to be some type of beef because somebody think they better than somebody. We all are the goats. It ain't gotta be one
Mm-hmm.
podcast a goat or one person is a goat. We all the goats at what we do, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
We're
And
all kings, right? I mean,
yes, see that shit gets on my nerves. I don't really say nothing, but I see it all the time down the timeline how people go back and forth over shit, bro. Me, I fucking like, retweet everybody's shit because I don't have no problem with nobody. But you got a lot of selfish motherfuckers that's going around Texas Twitter, and that shit there, it be irking me. But see, like me, I try to say nothing because you know I'm older, so I be chilling out and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to
right.
go back and forth with motherfuckers and shit because like me, I'm slick mouth. I don't do all that talking and shit. A lot of motherfuckers do a lot of internet, you know, internet thugs and shit. They do a lot of talking and shit. Then they see you, oh, what's up? Nah, motherfucker, didn't you just say this right here? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I be letting that shit go though. But you know, everybody keep doing their thing. You know, T, you keep doing your shit, bro, pushing that shit
Appreciate it,
out.
brother.
You know
Appreciate it.
what I'm saying? Keep dropping them bars on them motherfuckers and shit,
Appreciate it,
bro.
bro.
You know what
Same
I'm
to
saying?
you, bro. And it's always love, bro. It's be conversation because I appreciate the conversation because even when we on Twitter, you know, if You know, some of them Drake fans get out of line, let them know, hey, that's my boy Crenshaw, man. Y'all chill out. We have a good healthy conversation talking about music, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, people be on some weird shit, bro.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they be on real shit, man. It's crazy, man. But
Just
yeah,
because you don't like somebody's opinion doesn't mean you have to disrespect them.
yeah.
Right.
We all got different.
That's what makes us
opinions, man.
beautiful is our different opinions. Except
Okay. I keep saying the last one. But I'm gonna say this last one. Like one of our biggest things we used to always talk about was steaks. I like my steak well done. Man, I don't like a steak well done, and that's my opinion. That's his opinion. I can't get mad at him because he like his a different way. You know what I'm saying? Honcho eat his steak a different way. Pretty sure T, you eat your steak a different way. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we do the shit.
Right.
hold
You know
on,
what I'm saying?
Honcho, Pat, how y'all like y'all steak?
Medium well.
Medium well. Okay.
Well
T?
done.
Oh shit.
Come on, T.
Yes,
Well
sir.
done, man. I don't want to see no extra fluids. I don't want to see no kind of
jerky.
I don't want mine mooing, man. I don't want no mooing. None of that. I
That's
need
the way
it
I like
out of
it.
the way.
Brother. Right off the ranch onto the grill. I like it.
Oh, and let me say this. Let me apologize to our new offensive lineman, man. I seen a lot of people, I called him a fuck nigga, but it was all out of love and it was no hatred toward that fuck nigga. That was just saying, hey, man, salute. So shout out to bro and welcome to the team, man.
Hey, you were just welcome to the right way, right?
Do right way, bro. Because like I said, I had to go ahead and warm him up, bro. Cause we real around, you know, Texas is a different place, bro. We not gonna bite our tongue and
the offensive line.
especially by the offensive line. So you gonna catch some meat. They'll make you boy make you could delete your Twitter, man.
Well, you should have said Bummer Clock, because ain't he Jamaican?
Oh, he's Jamaican. Oh, see, I ain't know that. Oh,
yeah,
see,
he's Jamaican.
Yeah,
Bummer Clock, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to get some jerk wings from oxtails and shit, man.
Oh shit! Well, fellas, everybody, make sure you check out next week with Lil Kiki, because if it's anything like the last 30 minutes, it's gonna be off the chain. It's gonna be a great one. So make sure you check it out. Pat, make sure you say on after the outro. But everybody, have a blessed week. Stay repping Nates, and we'll see you then.
Yes, sir.
I'ma calm down. Won't chop it up. There's an H-Town anthem, so we gotta slow it up.
This the best podcast known to man. We been raw. You heard it here first from Keno and Fifth Ward Crenshaw.